MAGA truth be told, folks, here I am in a strong Donald J. Trump house, MAGA house, very safe. I like where I'm at. It's really good. And I want to go through the last 24 hours. I actually have now 5 emails from the UNSC. I'm not going to get into the 5th email today. Tomorrow, I'm going to submit that petition letter for the 12th. And I'm going to work through this weekend to make sure everybody is verified and on the petition. I'll work through all of that, make sure it's right, and I'll submit that for Monday, and we'll get that in attached to that. So it's looking really good. But I want to go through the last 24 hours. Very, very important for all 51st state supporters. Our attempt to get a federally registered party, and then all the works we've done, including everybody should be very proud, because that David Eby letter and petition actually made it to Ambassador Mike Waltz on the 4th, aka we got all this back and forth email. That's what led Pete Hoekstra to make the meeting yesterday, where, of course, his consulate office was shot at while he was on his way to meet with David Eby. But it gets so awesome. So yesterday, the meeting between Ambassador Pete Hoekstra and Premier David Eby happened in Victoria in the afternoon. So to make sense of this, folks, we alerted everybody. We posted on the ambassador's website, and of course with Pete Hegseth, and of course online with Ambassador Mike Waltz. And that was 2 hours before the meeting in BC. 3 hours different east to BC, British Columbia, Victoria. Yeah, Pete Hoekstra even talks about time changes, knowing full well that his consulate had been hit. In fact, our message, and all of you who supported that message on the embassy's page, which we were the first to comment, really. And while we're only 20% of the comments, we've lost the battle with the elbows up mentally ill. There's more crazy of them. They've overtaken us. Although yesterday, in those critical first few hours, we hit the ambassador first. It stood out. And my particular comment on getting the Secret Service, folks, Ambassador Pete Hoekstra came with his jacket, with the vest, and of course, he was surrounded by Secret Service. And of course, you know what Donald J. Trump posted following that meeting and everything else. And then for those who know from the letter in the Great Lakes, our upgrade 3 that's going in tomorrow, and you know what the reference is for the Asian carp. He lists all the states because we've listed all the provinces. And folks, the upgraded provinces, the 4 editions, go look where that's going through China and which states of the union it affects. Donald J. Trump's going to be having meetings with all of those governors, and he finishes off with, of course, Governor Mark Carney for Canada, the 51st state, because he's going to want to participate in this. It's coming, folks, and we're cutting edge. Our alert to Ambassador Pete Hoekstra, where he was able to verify 2 hours before and have all that in place. That's the truth of it. And of course, when he talked to his counterparts in USA, they would have filled him in that, yes, your consulate was shot, your office was shot at, a message was sent. And of course, you all know our letter. It started on March 4th and petition drive for March 4th to Ambassador Pete Hoekstra's highest authority ambassador, Mike Waltz. And who do we list there? David Eby. So they sent Ambassador Pete Hoekstra to have this sit-down meeting with this man named Premier David Eby. Now, the media is telling you all kinds of other redonkulous things, folks, trying to say that somehow it was a success. I'm going to tell you something. Pete Hoekstra talked to the media and he said, oh yeah, we were very happy that Michigan hockey players, 5 of which were on the Canadian team. Pretty amazing, right? Well, it's more amazing than that, folks. Do you know who ran USA Intelligence, the highest committee of Republican U.S. intelligence in the United States of America? Yeah, Michigan, Pete Hoekstra. Yeah, he's an intelligence expert. He just went and interviewed Premier David Eby yesterday. He's not just an ambassador, he's an intelligence expert. He's been an intelligence expert for years. High level security clearance. Oh yeah. You guys can all go look this up yourselves. I've already known all these things. We were never to ever be allowed. So, folks, a delegation of 51st staters with our party, PCC, Party of the Canadian Constitutionalists, we all went suit and tie, dresses, but 4 of us went all the way to Ottawa last year for the B7, designing the G7 meeting in Alberta, in Kananaskis. We went to the planning meeting with all the business people in Ottawa. And of course, undercover agent of the Crown pretended to be one of our followers to spy on us and to make certain we would never speak with the ambassador, while police and security, 3 different Canadian teams, kept us far away from the ambassador and the American delegation. You will not speak with him. We commented, we posted that, but again, it doesn't matter because I used the highest communication possible in Canada, the highest authority over Canada, high-level stage ambassador, the United Nations Security Council permanent representative of the United States of America, Ambassador Mike Waltz. So we've been in communication with him since March 4th. Our letter showcases David Eby, gives a timeline, gives critical breaches of USA-Canada security, peace and security, trade, and more. It's NATO, NORAD, real important stuff. 2 articles are referenced in those agreements. Treaty binding international laws. Canada and USA signed together. China hasn't. So Mark Carney and all the premiers listed, including, of course, David Eby. Pete Hoekstra went there, all smiles. He's an intelligence expert. He went there to assess his enemy, David Eby, for Donald J. Trump. A trusted intelligence expert, Ambassador Pete Hoekstra. You won't get one over him, folks. You can go look this up on Wikipedia. And your dense, pathetic Canadian media can't establish this. Oh, sure, some are saying, it looks like Pete Hoekstra poured cold water on reporters and any kind of thing going forward with Canada. Says can't even get the provinces or states to agree. But they will be agreeing. They will be agreeing with the federal government, and both the Senate and House congressional committees at the highest levels on foreign trade, investment, security, all of it. I also want to take this point too to tell everybody in updates, Homeland Security is crippled right now. There's a partial shutdown with no more funding, which means Homeland Security, Senator John Wayne Mullins, won't be active with the border, Canada and the Arctic. And it's also the reason USNS Mercy, the hospital vessel, isn't going to be able to make Greenland. It's waiting on that release. It's in the waters. It's going up the Atlantic coastline. It's going through the Gulf of America on the eastern side right now as it plans to get to Greenland. But until Homeland Security is unlocked, Trump's stuck on that front. And I don't think it'll be very long. I think when Iran's concluded in the next couple of weeks, tops, and I mean completely completed, we're going to see that file move. We're going to see Americans move. But I think people are going to find out when those governors see the reports, just like the letter that all of you signed the petition, those who chose to see it. There's times I use Twitter for I use X for purposes when I want to get in touch with political figures around the world. There's no better place to go than X. However, sometimes Facebook's great because you can identify everybody. The problem with X is the aliases that are widely and disproportionately used on that platform. And of course, you're only hearing audio. There's no videos like this one. Hi, I'm Dave Bjorkman. I'm on live video. You see live, right? Obviously, I'm real. What's amazing is that when you go to Facebook and you identify the elbows up Canadians, even now, even on that post on the Consulate shooting by Ambassador Pete Hoekstra, right before his meeting yesterday with David Eby. Oh yeah. And he posts that. Can you imagine? And he went in there, you see him with the jacket, it's a bulletproof vest, and of course he has the entire Secret Service surrounded him. That's all thanks to all of you. But folks, it's at a point now where Canada's done. And you heard Trump call out Carney, Governor Carney, Canada soon to be 51st state. When you read our petition and you read those authentic truths of the premiers, when all the governors of those northern states who are being competed against and seeing where the fool's folly of Canada and Canada's crown going, this, half of Americans support removing tariffs from Canada, half. But what will the numbers really be when all of that is released and those northern governors, especially the ones associated with the Great Lakes provinces, speak up and say, sorry, we have new reports. We didn't know this with these Canadian provinces, and that they've been doing this against our states and our American people, and the long-term results of that are this. Whoa, we didn't know this. Well, there's a reason why they don't know it, because USA Democrat and Republican committee reports on these things haven't been filed since February of 2025. Folks, it's already 13 months. The next scheduled release is July 2026. What do you think those reports are going to say? I'm very in a 90 plus percentile, I'd say 97%. There's a chance I might be wrong on a couple of the items, but whether or not I am or aren't, that 97% that's certain to be there is a death sentence for Canada going forward with the United States. And anyone who's read that stuff, who knows, who's in the know, anyone who's got our petition drive, it's not very hard when you read the contents of the letter that's now been upgraded for a third time. And now there's a fifth email, but it's okay. Our presentation's still going tomorrow. All I can say is this, and only the people who filed the petition, when this weekend's over and I have all your names, you're going to get the contents of the 5th email, and I told you so. And I think I'm going to screenshot a heading of each email showing the email links that this really did happen. And all I can say is claims I've made on the elbows up, not certain groups, marginalized groups that, of course, all the elbows up people are first to say, oh, it's the foreigners, it was Iranians, or it was Lebanese, or it was Syrians, or it was Palestinian Hamas, right? No. It's elbows up Canadians. All you have to do, like I said, X is good for certain things, but not good when you're dealing with all the aliases. Facebook, Canadians' favorite social media, 79 percentile. Canadians in large swaths use their real names, and you can actually click on their profile and see their activity for many, many years and quickly establish they are a real Canadian with real family and friends. That's what Meta is. That's what Facebook is. So when you're dealing with Facebook on threats against Ambassador Pete Hoekstra's life, or even myself on Canada the 51st State page, a lot of these folks don't realize that that's your real name. You have family members on your Facebook, public, and friends. It's easy to find you, know who you are, and chase you right down. And the US government can do that, snap of a finger. If I can do it, just taking a few minutes to click on these radicals and then realize, wow, that's not an Iranian. I'm going to tell you all this. On Facebook, the crazies are predominantly 90% old stock Canadians. Then there's maybe 5% that are foreigners, first generation Canadian citizens or permanent residents, but probably official Canadian citizens, are either from Africa or India or other monarchical or colonial third world states. Do you know who couldn't find any? Iranian, Palestinian, Lebanon. You couldn't find Lebanese, Lebanon, Syrian, Syria. Couldn't find any of those people. Zero, zip, zilch on the laughs over the shooting, on the idea of Pete Hoekstra being killed. Oh yeah, dozens and dozens more than us now, in fact. But we're at about 20%, which was the highest showing ever in support of Pete Hoekstra, Ambassador Pete Hoekstra. And it's great, and it's great for us. It's great for the work we've done, because all of you who are on this petition, you're showing USA monumental. You saw Pete won't be intimidated. He went to the meeting. He took the advice. Secret Service was brought in. He must have contacted Pete Hegseth, and of course he must have contacted Mike Waltz, and that happened. Just like that. Thanks to all of you who participated. 25 and 32 of you, 2 different posts, both very, very important. Very well done, especially when you're dealing with an elbows up on the average of 160 on said comments against us. And so many of you took a lot of laughs from crazies who posted crazy critical things. And you can look at the comments there, and then you watch how many of those who laughed at your posts, wishing him well and safety, and this is wrong, you shouldn't do that. And of course, these people are then liking and loving on comments that, too bad they didn't get you, or that's a message for you, get out of here. And again, primarily old stock traceable Canadians, where you know who they are, who's their family members and friends. And they've been active on Facebook more than 2 to 10 years. Yeah, those people are all finito, man. They're on serious watch list now. That's how you end up registered as a terrorist in the United States of America. And people who don't take that serious or don't think that's real, I can promise you none of those people, if their life depended on it, trying to get across to the US border, would ever be allowed. They'll be red flagged. That's a fact. A fact. When Americans are on our soil in consulate or embassy or what have you, that for all intents and purposes, the whole idea of embassy anyway, is that that's foreign soil in your land reserved for all the laws of that country. So when you go on that soil, you might as well have walked across the border of the United States and shot at Donald J. Trump in the White House. You might as well have went to Washington, D.C. and started shooting at the president. Americans know exactly what this is. We are really going to be in a lot of trouble when a lot of this stuff starts ramping up, especially with those northern state governors. Canadians don't understand this about Americans. You think your Democrats are in your corner? They never will be. They're America first too. Doesn't matter. When push comes to shove and you stand against an American, all Americans unite against that force against them. And that's just the way it is, always in majority. There's never going to be a majority where, oh, well, we'll side with this person against Americans. They have a quality of the person, the American equal citizen. And they care about each other no matter what. And when push comes to shove, they come together. And I can tell you, at the highest levels of the Democrats and Republicans, they're together. And the rest will fall into suit. And Donald J. Trump gives you all that hint. I know that CARP is a hint, because again, I'm going to say it. In our letter of all those goods we list with those premiers, and we were asked in email 3 vehemently to deal with the Great Lakes on this particular day on the same lines as the Central African Republic, is because all those states he listed in that for the Great Lakes are all those getting messed up over that specific list of trades with you know which country. Just look at the CARP. God bless everybody. That's my video. I'm safe and sound. It was a travel day today. I didn't know it was going to be, so I've lost a little time and I am wiped out. Early start and all that. But don't panic. Our letter's going in tomorrow morning. I'm going to have a terrific sleep. There's no way it's not. And we already have the 14 days for our petition. So I have lots of time all this weekend and tomorrow to cycle through calmly, get everybody's name all in there. You're going to get an email. I'm going to fill you in on a lot. And then there'll be a completed list you'll get of all of us. And you'll also get secret intel that I'm not releasing public. And I will do the screenshots for all of you. Sign that petition, but it can't go public, not right now. Let's save everything till July, just so you're on this monumental journey with me. You all deserve it. You had the courage, especially after what I saw for the first time, against the elbows up, and those are lunatics. That's something we all have to be weary of, be afraid for, but as Pete Hoekstra does, if Pete won't be intimidated, neither can we, people. And I'm so proud of all of you for doing that. That was tremendously impactful. And if you think none of you will ever be forgotten by the United States, or would be forgotten by the United States, you won't be. And neither will be anybody on this petition letter. It is effectual. For Americans, it won't matter. It won't matter. Democrats read that, Republicans read that, and they both will. They're not going to hate you guys. They're not going to hate me or you guys. They're going to say, wow, at least at those high levels, they're going to say, wow, these people are not only with it, but they get it, but they're courageous too. American style courageous. And that's really what we're doing here. We're not just talking 51st state. We're really truly trying to live it, to be it, and showcase that we do get it and we can change, we can evolve, and probably all Canadians could too, but that requires the end of the institutionalization. So love you all, everybody. Get this shared out. Like I said, only so much more going forward is going to be shared to the petitioners only. And we've exceeded our 1,000. It was funny in this mega house because it's nice. Where I'm staying, this woman has strong connections to Donald J. Trump. One of his close people is a very good friend of hers. She's got pictures way better than anyone I've ever seen in Canada. They're not staged or doctored. That's her with Melania last year. That's her with Donald J. Trump. And she does it quite frequently. She's well-to-do, and she likes me, takes care of me here. It's all good, and I'm very safe where I'm at. I like it, and she wanted to see, so I showed her the emails. I showed her what's going on just to prove it's real, because they want to know, is this real? Yeah. So she's going to talk to that very good friend of Donald J. Trump's. This is way better than the baloney of Danielle Smith, Premier of Alberta. I promise you all this is real, but it doesn't matter because everyone in the petition, you're going to get, I'm going to screenshot the first intro so you guys know it's real. You all deserve that. So it's not just blind faith. And then I'm going to show you the latest that I'm not spilling the beans over email 5. But it's an I told you so, but it's for all of you for now. And you're going to have to hold that here till July, August. And we're just going to have to wait and see. But Pete Hoekstra had that meeting with David Eby, and he's an intelligence expert. Like, David Eby doesn't realize, people talk about Vladimir Putin. It's like Trump sent an expert in that craft, just like Putin, but an American. He sent him to David Eby's office yesterday. And then some nut jobs try to shoot up Pete's office, right? We couldn't ask it to go a better way, even though that is deadly wrong. But really, it proves everything we've done, we've been saying. It backs up our letter and, of course, our 1,000-name petition drive. So, love you all. Get it out there. I promise we're going to take it easy through the weekend. Letter is absolutely going out tomorrow morning in the time frame to Mike Waltz, even though he's already seen it, but officially registered on the day they asked for. And then to follow suit, we're going to have probably, I'm pretty certain by Monday, our petition drive in to back that all up well before it was required, okay? Love you all. Bye now. Have a great night.